BeamNG's most anticipated mod has finally been released, and oh boy, the Hirochi CCF doesn't only set a new standard for the modding community, even the BeamNG developers have to do some catch-up work to keep up with this level of detail. While a lot of aspects this mod features exceed anything ever seen before, it's completely free. I'd like to thank Theo, the author of this mod, for granting me early access and allowing me to make a video on it before its initial release. This means that you might see some bugs that won't be in the public version. But now, without further ado, let's get into it. To be fair, this isn't a totally new mod. Back in December of 2021, exactly 2 years ago, the CCF2 was published. After just 2 months of updating it, Theo decided to remaster the CCF. Although, I'm not sure whether this can even be called a remaster. It rather looks like a complete remake from scratch. As in the original version, this mod features a total of 43 configurations, from right and left hand drive versions to race, electric and aftermarket configurations. There's something for everyone. The lore is interesting too. The base version, called Hirochi CCF, CCF standing for Compact Convertible Front-Engined Roadster, is inspired by the Miata MX-5, and the reveal of some configurations reminds me slightly of the Porsche 911. However, there's another edition produced by a luxury subsidiary of Hirochi, known as Procyon. The Procyon Vela features a unique bodywork and a new cabin design. Even though it is a separate mod, it will show up in the configuration selector of the CCF. The Vela will most likely be published a week after the initial release of the CCF remaster. I'll put the download link in the description of this video as soon as it gets released. Both editions share the same base, made by Theo and Finn Wilkinson. Theo mainly focused on the CCF, while Finn worked on the Procyon Vela. This out of the way, let's continue with the features it has. You can not only open doors, hoods and trunks like in official BeamNG vehicles. The CCF even has an openable softtop and openable windows. The audio muffling in the interior is directly affected by the open parts, a really neat detail. Speaking of the interior, the CCF's one is nearly fully interactive. You can turn on the ceiling light, it has highly detailed screens and gauges, customizable interior lighting, and the modeling and textures are just on point. It's worth mentioning that not every configuration shares the same interior. The dashboard, steering wheel and other stuff vary from config to config. As one of the first BeamNG cars ever, the Hirochi CCF features advanced driver assistance systems, also known as ADAS. Examples of this are the parking sensors on the center screen, with beeping sounds indicating the distance to the surroundings, automated emergency braking, and it displays the speed limit on the dashboard. It might not have as many revolutionary features on the exterior, but among other things, it has sequential indicators, brake low and adaptive lighting. All are things that I haven't seen often on BeamNG mods. Finally, it's time to talk about the physics. I've driven various configurations for a couple of hours, tried to beat time records by driving at the absolute limit, and I can guarantee you, every single configuration feels authentic and the force feedback is incredibly realistic. The J-beam is really good too, and I honestly have nothing to criticize about this mod. If you haven't already, click the download link below, because this is basically a free developer quality vehicle.